Right, so welcome back, folks, to episode 2 of this Fallout retro series. Before we dive into character creation, I just thought I'd quickly go over the settings. I've turned the resolution to 1280 by 720, so hopefully it looks a little bit better. You've still got the black line situation going on, but the text is a little bit bigger and stuff, so hopefully that's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, I've essentially just left everything pretty much as it was on the default settings. So normal difficulty, normal combat difficulty, maximum blood violence was the default. So why not? Yeah, so literally everything. Language filter, let's have that off. Come on now. I don't swear too much, but hey, if the game wishes to, who are we to stop it? Combat taunts on, etc. So everything is as it is in default. Subtitles turned on, which was off on default. Volume levels as they are. Text delay, everything's as it is. If any of these are better being tweaked from your experience, please do let me know. We can always have a play around with these, but I just left everything as default in the hope that it's a nice, happy medium. With that being said, let's dive in then. It don't give much time to mess about, does it? The bloody intro playing every 2 minutes. Let's dive into a new game and let's get that character created, or should I say showcased, because I took my time to create the character off camera, because 10 minutes is not a long time to create a character on camera, so you know, restrictions and all. It's 2010 after all. Create a character, options, and then load, and we can see that we have a character already created. So let's start from the beginning, shall we? Name of the character. This is a throwback to my Fallout 3 series, my very first on-camera Fallout series. Bob. We've got Bob has returned in a different form now. So we've got Bob, Professor Bob to be precise. A highly respected 32-year-old, very, very intelligent member of Vault 13. Male. Let's take a look at him. So he's a very much a book smarts kind of guy. He loves all things technology, pre-war tech, anything to do with pre-war. Absolutely fascinated by it all. You know, he loves it. Can't get enough of it. Maybe a particular faction might be quite useful for him. Who knows? So he's a very much a very book smart kind of guy. He was, highly respected member of the Vault. A lot of teaching, sharing his knowledge with other Vault dwellers. Strength, average Joe when it comes to the old strength front. Perception, yeah, he's average. Not the most switched on when it comes to the surroundings. He's been usually gets so engrossed with something that he sometimes doesn't have that kind of wider awareness. It can go down kind of rabbit holes, kind of tunnel visioned. Once he gets his teeth stuck into something, can be quite narrow-minded, very focused on that one thing. Hence why he's a very good learner when it comes to picking up things and studying, for example. He can do that kind of stuff really well. Endurance, yes, endurance is all about toughness, physical toughness, stamina. He's been used to wheeling around on a chair, doing a lot of studying, not a lot of fighting. Toughness? What toughness? Not much. Fair. It could have been worse. Fair. Charisma. This is an interesting one because his general charisma, not marvellous. Is it fair? But his speech specifically is going to be pretty good. And what I liken this to is the fact that he's good at debating, good at putting his point across in terms of the content of the conversation, in terms of picking up things that people are saying maybe, and being able to ask the right questions in a monotonous way. He's not, you know, it's kind of two separate things I'm saying this as. He's not the most, in terms of kind of that pure charismatic magnetism that people are constantly attracted to you and hang on every word, perhaps not. But the knowledge that he puts across in conversation can lead to good logical arguments. So that's what I'm likening his high speech but poor or fair charisma to. Great when it comes to the content of the conversation. The charismatic flair that he puts that across with, perhaps not quite so great. We'll see how that pans out during the playthrough. Intelligence, fantastic. He's a professor, he's a high science man, he loves all his technology. He was the go-to man when everything was kicking off in the vault, or something wasn't quite working, or somebody needed some answers to something. Bob was your man. Professor Bob. It's important to put his title in front of his name, you know. Professor Bob. Agility, yeah, perhaps not so tough and strong, but very nimble, very agile, very quick. Might serve useful in certain situations. Luck, average. As most people's luck is average. Some people may have the impression that they're very lucky or very unlucky, but in the grand scheme of things, over the course of your lifetime, your luck is going to be pretty average. So, average luck. So that's his little makeup. As I say, he's a highly knowledgeable, very respected member of the Vault, hence why he's been the one that's been selected, because I know a little bit about the story, of course, to go and venture out of his vault into the big wide world to look for a water chip for the Vault that need one. It's a technological thing. He loves technology. He's a lot of reading about technology. He is fascinated to find out more about how life is up on the surface. His mouth is drooling with the fact there's probably loads of pre-war tech up there. He couldn't wait to put himself forward to get out into the big wide world and just have a nosy. He can't wait. So that's his special stats. The optional traits he can pick too. We've gone for small frame. He's a small, nimble kind of guy. That gave us an extra +1 to his agility. But means that he can't carry quite so much. I think his carry capacity has gone down from 150 pounds down to 100. So he's a pretty smallish guy, but because of that kind of bloody-mindedness, kind of that tunnel vision, focusing on something, he gets good at stuff quite quickly. Picks up on things and can learn things quite quickly because of the fact that he just focuses on it, and until he's got it, he will continue to practice it. So he's more of he's a finesse kind of guy when it comes to weapon damage, because he has practiced with weaponry. Weaponry is a form of technology. Weaponry fascinates him too, although the smallest variety, given the fact that he's not the biggest guy. So small guns is one of his tag skills. I think it's appropriate to tag a weapon as a skill, so he'll be using mainly small guns. Lockpicking, I think, is when you've got loads of things to find and hidden goodies to uncover, I think he's going to make it his ambition to make sure that no lock is too complex for him to be prizing open and having a nosy inside things. And speech as well, just because I think we're going to be focusing on quite a speech-heavy playthrough. I quite fancy that. And as I said, his intelligence, his ability to kind of pick up on things, ask the right questions, hopefully will come to the fore with a high speech skill. Other skills that we'll be putting points in as we level up, we'll be looking at, of course, at his science, professor and all that. Repairs, also something that we're going to be putting up quite high. Dealing with traps is quite a technological thing. We're not going to be focused on stealing, perhaps not even sneaking so much, but definitely the sciencey kind of skills, the technological kind of skills, we'll be focusing heavily on that. Speech, of course. Bartering, not the greatest at barter, but he's never had to do it, so perhaps when he practices that, we'll be using him a bit more with some bartering. I thought gambling was quite an interesting skill. The science behind it all, the logic behind it could come into the play. Might become quite a proficient gambler, the kind of guy that gets turfed out of casinos because he continues to win, who knows. So they're the kind of skills that we're looking at. There's our character. It's Professor Bob from Vault 13. How is he going to fare in the big wide world? We're about to find out. So join me and Bob next time as we venture in the wasteland.